Hey, Lucy.
Hey, great to see you.
You too. Awesome. So why don't we start with you pulling up your body diagram, and then you can tell me a little bit about what's going on with your
Great.
knee.
Yes. Can you see the
Yeah.
body diagram that I sent to you?
Yes, I see it there.
Yeah. So I've had pain in this right knee, kind of on and off for the past 10 years. I did have a knee injury like in my teens playing soccer. And also, I do a lot of yoga. So I do a lot of external hip rotation. Maybe some of it wasn't as mindful in the early years.
Yeah.
So my right knee bothers me like when I'm walking, just in movement, not sitting, not standing.
Okay.
Mhm.
And could you describe the feeling, like you saying it bothers you? Could you give it like a little more, like is it sharp? Is it dull? Is it constant when you're moving? Is it, come and go? Just a little something more to
Yeah,
identify it.
yeah. It feels achy, and it also doesn't feel like in one part of the knee. It's sort of like around the knee. Um, and if I like sit in like a lotus position in yoga, sometimes it's just an achiness there. Whereas other days it's totally fine. It just feels like it depends on what else I've done with the knee that day.
Yeah.
Um, so that's why it's sort of on and off. But I've noticed like it hasn't gone away for a long time. And some of the things that I tried aren't like they might help a little, but they're not like getting rid of the problem.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what helps a little bit.
I think what I found helps is if I like start to um I'm trying to do some more work with my right quadricep, like getting that quadricep engaged a little bit. But that's a little bit of a theory right now. I'm not sure if that's
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, not sitting like in lotus posture. I think it works that I don't do that. So doing like just not loading the knee with external rotation of the hip, like
Yeah.
whatever that is. I feel like that aggravates it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what else do I want to know? Um, yeah, it's kind of that might be good to start with. Is there anything else that you want to share? Anything else that's coming up at all in your body, or just anything popping up into your mind right now?
Um, when I had this knee sensitivity before, I went to a physio and they were giving me like glute and ankle exercises, and I was like so fit at that time, and I was like, this is not going to help me because I couldn't, like, I really don't think I could be more fit in those areas.
Hmm.
After 3 months, no change. That physio wasn't at the office, and I saw a different physio who is thoracic ring trained, so who works with the thoracic spine. And in that one session, she had realized that the driver of my knee pain, the cause of my knee pain, was in my thoracic ring ribs, and that a couple were stuck together. And she
Hmm.
just did a little bit of release, a little bit of deep breathing. And when I got up and did the same squat test of, just like like this squat test where I was just standing and bending,
Hmm.
no pain, where there had been pain, like literally half an hour before,
Okay.
10 minutes before.
Yeah.
So that was also a really interesting thing. So, I mean, it's hard to do like a thoracic ring correction on myself, even though like I'm partially trained in that. Um,
Okay.
So I do, yeah, I'm just curious about like, yeah, what is potentially contributing to the knee pain, or like what functional movement am I not doing? Is it like in my gait? Is it what's happening that that the knee is constantly coming back to that achiness? Like I feel that there must be something that I'm doing regularly that's causing that to go um out of comfortable, you know, walking or yoga posing or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. That it's funny because when we were talking earlier about, oh, do you have a blanket or something? I'm like, oh, we'll be fine without it. And now I'm like, oh, I kind of like, it's like I had a sense that we would need or I'd want to use
I
that.
can get one. I can get one. It's fine.
It's like, oh, maybe we'll do this thing where we do this laying on the side. And I'm like, now, of course, I want to do that.
That's
It's
fine.
like, I don't know how I knew that.
I have my sweatshirt, I have a jacket, I have a pillow, and I can go get one if we need.
Yeah, we can try with what's there and see for sure. Yeah, because it's so interesting. So you've already had that experience of a different part of the body's like coming to support the knee in a surprising way. So that kind of leads me to be like, yeah, let's look at, just some movement patterns, like just see how you're moving and see what yeah, if what I see and what happens. So why don't we stop the share of the diagram so I can see more of you? Yes, awesome. Okay. Um, so so now I'm so curious to see you rotate your body. So we could even do it simply sitting in the chair, but I'd like to see your feet on the floor as well. So if you could scoot your chair back, that would be awesome.
And
And
I have a chair without bars here, if that's easier.
it might be because I might get you to have your hands in prayer and then your elbows might get on those. Yeah.
I can use this too. This is probably even better than the big chair that I have.
Perfect. Yeah, just a little back. So I can see your feet on the ground. Awesome. Okay.
Do you want my
Great.
socks off?
Up to you. Doesn't matter to me.
I don't know if you're looking like for pronation and supination, so
Yeah, I'm just gonna just watch you move and
okay.
see what I see. Yeah, that's kind of where I like to start. So all I want you to do is just bring your hands to prayer and just rotate your body to the right slowly. And just do the right one more time, please.
I can feel that knee wanting to go forward a little.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want you to just not try to stop anything from happening, to just kind of move how your body would naturally move if you weren't trying to do it like right or in any certain way. I just want to see how you naturally would move without any kind of fixing or any of the, I know, the multitude of knowledge you have about the body and movement. Just not think about it, just go for it. Yeah. Nice. Okay, and then let's do to the right. I mean, to the left, excuse me. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is the same thing, but I'd like you to connect maybe your first fingers or middle fingers, whatever feels more comfortable, just to your chin. And then as you rotate to the side, just keep that connection. And along the way, just let me know, just maybe go a couple times to the right. Yeah, just let me know if you feel your knee at all in anything or anything else that comes up.
Again, I feel the left knee pulling forward.
Yep.
Um, and maybe there's like a little gripping on this right knee where the problem is, like maybe
Okay.
a little bit of gripping.
So I want you to just think about now just your pelvis. This is a steady place to land, and your movement. just the rib cage moving around your pelvis. So if you can feel for the pelvis just being heavy and you just move in that rotation where you can feel the rib cage and you don't feel any of that little like whisper of a grip in that right knee. So just kind of in that little smaller range. Yeah.
Better.
Awesome. Awesome. And then just maybe one or two more and just like focus on a nice, easy breath, kind of being really present with the movement. Right. Great. And then so go ahead.
It doesn't feel like I'm gripping, but like there's some awareness here.
Okay. Yeah. Great. That's good to know. Okay. So let's just do the same thing to your left side. Nice. And can we take it even like a little tiny bit smaller, or just think about the movement just being smooth, even if it feels so tiny. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah,
That feels really calming.
great. Okay, so just come back to center and just relax your arms. Yeah. So I like that you're aware of those like little subtleties. Like, oh, there's a little something in the knee. So like to talk about those as like whispers or yellow lights. And they're just signs that like something is there. So it's like, oh, we might be, if we keep going, we might be moving more into orange or red, which is more into pain or tension. So we're just going to try to move mostly today in that kind of green to yellow range, kind of just getting a sense of when the yellow shows up and what is happening in your movement patterns when that comes online. So
Hmm.
what areas might be, just needing a little bit more um, ease or a little less, and so we can find some more range of motion in those joints. So, all right, what I want to do you have Okay, let's try this. So I'm drawn to do this thing on the floor that I would normally ask you to roll up a blanket or a yoga mat even or something. So we can try though. There's those cushions on the couch. Let's try to use those.
And I also have like a sweatshirt or a jacket, which I can
Okay.
roll over.
Yeah. So let's try what I want you to essentially do. We're going to do this in a couple of different spots. So let's I'm gonna show you what the setup might look like, and then you can figure we can figure it out together. Okay, so there is this. I'm gonna use a towel since I have a towel right here. So I'm just gonna roll my towel, and then I'm going to use another towel just for like a pillow. So you could use one of those couch cushions for the head pillow, and I might want more. So I'm just gonna have another one nearby. So I would first you're gonna lay on one side and we'll do both so it doesn't matter which one. But you're gonna basically bring your rib cage kind of around the nipple line roughly over the roll. And as you come down, you just want to kind of keep the side bend. So if you start to feel like your head's gonna drop like mine does, then we just know we need to add a little more height under the head. And same if you feel like you're wanting to roll forwards or backwards, then we're just gonna play with the height of the head and the height of this roll. So it's not too intense. Or if it's not big enough, making it a little bit bigger.
Okay.
So
Great.
simple, just getting some awareness into the rib cage and into the breath is what I'm hoping for in this one.
Hmm.
All right. And it's going to be ideally gentle. So it doesn't need to be a big sensation, but it might be. We'll see. Great. Yeah, we can try some different props. Perfect.
Isn't really that high. This little roll, should I maybe double it?
Try that if you want. Yeah. We can always go back if it's too much.
It looks bigger than it is because it really squishes it
Things
down.
down. Yeah.
It feels pretty low, but I could start with something that's not a big sensation,
Yeah.
or do you think I should go higher?
I think that it's okay. We'll see what, we'll just see how it feels as you lay here. Do you feel something like in your rib cage? Some
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, gentle.
connection? Gentle. Great. Great. Gentle's good. Yeah. All right. So you can just start by just relaxing here. And maybe if you need to put that other cushion between your knees or your lower legs, if that helps them relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Good. All right. So then just I want you to focus on just easy, natural breathing, just noticing where it feels easy to breathe in your body.
Yeah, it's definitely easier to breathe like into my lower ribs.
Okay. Right. Great. And is that a place you typically find it easy to breathe, or do you think that this lying on the roll might be impacting the breath?
Both actually, because I do find it easy to breathe into my low ribs.
Great.
Um, but I do like think that this is kind of making me kind of careful of breathing deeply in these upper ribs.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. All right. And so, a couple options. You could stay steady as you are, just relaxed, or you could add a little bit of movement with your top arm. You could take it kind of alongside your body, like hand towards your hip. Yeah. And then you could gently extend your arm kind of up and over any amount towards your ear, internally rotating the arm if you like. Yeah. And just kind of coming up and down, or maybe pausing. And just notice as you move, if there's any areas of stickiness or tension or pain, or a little whisper of something inside your body.
Yeah, it's pretty, pretty smooth, not really affecting the lower ribs.
Great. So start to bring that arm back down. You noticing something in there? No?
My upper shoulder.
Okay.
It's like, I think I'm not sure if it's because of the workout yesterday, my muscle, I think
Oh
it's
yeah, a little sore.
sometimes I have to be careful of my shoulder. I'm really hypermobile.
Okay.
Sometimes when I'm doing overhead stuff, I'm like, I'm just kind of like, I sometimes move more trepidatiously.
Okay, that's good to know too. Yeah. Um, so why don't we do one more arm movement where you just go in that small range before you feel that whisper of trepidation in that shoulder and just kind of come down and notice on the way back down if there's any sense of trepidation or of that little feeling in your shoulder that you sometimes get. And just kind of move before that happens in that easy range, easy breath a couple of times.
Yeah, that feels better. Just not going past like
Yeah.
the worry going down.
Yeah. And then it's like kind of easing that if there's that trepidation or that nervous system kind of pick up in your body, if we just kind of move before that happens. So just keeping the kind of calm and just trying to move in that range as much as we can throughout the whole session. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
really subtle, but
Yeah, really subtle. Yeah. Nice. And then just let your arm relax. Okay. And then we're just gonna move the roll down. So it's now instead of in your ribs, it's in between the bottom rib cage and the top of the pelvis. So more in the soft tissue instead of into the bones. So you can kind of even place it maybe at the top ridge of the pelvis and yeah, lay over it into the side waist. Okay, how does that feel?
good.
Awesome. I'm just taking notes, just so you know, as I'm here. All
Mhm.
right, awesome. So just take a few moments again, just to breathe easily without any kind of effort to your breath, just in and out, settling into the roll and into the floor. And if you'd like to, we can add a bit of movement of the pelvis here. So you can think about the pelvis on the top side. We'll start there, just moving up towards the rib cage and back down.
Just lifting that side.
Yeah, kind of just moving up and down, pelvis to rib cage. And just easy breath the whole time. Yeah. You feel a little rotation happening too?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing a bit more. When I turn my head, I see both the lift and the rotation. From this angle, just I'm seeing mostly the rotation. So
I like
what,
to lift this, right?
pardon me?
Trying to lift this up.
Yeah, exactly. Like up towards your armpit. hmm What if
It's,
you move?
I feel like the floor is stopping me. Like I feel
Yeah,
because my
yeah,
it wants right, it kind of wants to go down when this side goes up.
yes.
So like it's like I'm kind of resisting against the floor, and then that
So
feel the rotation.
yes. So why don't we try a couple things? So we could try just making it smaller, like just really again, really subtle. And or you could try also the position of your lower leg. So you could bend the knees more, maybe, or maybe you need the prop between them, maybe you don't, a couple different ideas to just see how it
Yeah.
shifts.
I wonder if having a little crook here is gonna allow a hip, like a little bit of space between the knees.
Mhm. So just notice like as you do this now, what's driving the movement? Is your thigh driving the movement or is your pelvis able to move?
I think for sure, like the outer muscles of the adductors, no, the
Yeah.
abductors. But since you mentioned the pelvis, the movement is smaller.
hmm
I feel more internal in the internal movement.
Okay. So yeah, I just like to kind of play with that. Like it's so hard to move so small, right? We were like, oh yeah, I can do this thing and it's not wrong to do it with rotation. It's just interesting to see what the body is doing. And
Yeah.
then sometimes it can kind of connect dots later. Like I'm not sure what it means yet, if it means anything, but it's just interesting to see that your pelvis wants to rotate at the same time as it's doing that movement up and down. It's
Yeah.
just kind of like information. It's like, cool, that's what your body's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So let's take a pause on this side and let's switch to the other side, side lying, and let's start at the rib cage again. So your choice if you want to flip, yeah, to face me, sure. Perfect.
Yeah. Stacy.
Yeah. I mean, to me it doesn't matter, but yeah, since we're sharing this with
Talking to
your
the couch.
cohort, it might be nice to have your face showing. Yeah. But yeah, when I'm working with, any client, I just let them do whatever. Sometimes I just roll to the other side if it's easier. Okay. So yeah, just start by getting comfortable here. And that might be the exact same position and it might need something else. Let's just see. Yeah. What if we put that turquoise block between your ankles?
Yeah, I'm sure that would feel good. My my hip on this side has always been a little bit bony.
Yeah.
That's
We
why
could,
I'm kind of adjusting a little bit because I would have a I should have brought a blanket.
yeah, if you feel a little pressure, yeah, we can also,
Should I get another pillow for it?
we could, that's gonna maybe,
Yeah.
but what we could do is, use we could try using the pillow folded under your rib cage and your sweater
Yeah.
a little bit gently folded under your hip. So there's some um, padding, but it's a little more stable.
Feel so relaxed.
Oh, good. Awesome.
Got to put that down. Yeah, I never thought of myself as bony until I took this restorative training. And then
Yeah.
it's like, oh my gosh, everything needs like a blanket underneath for it to stay that long, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. When you're holding something for such time, it brings up different things for sure. Yeah, and I think that's the key for me with this work is just always getting as comfortable as you can, because then the body can settle through more and more layers, like layers we didn't know we were holding on to.
Yeah. I really,
Yeah, yeah, awesome. How does that feel?
yeah, it feels better for sure on my hip. I don't think I could have stayed there actually. No, now that
Yeah,
I'm there.
yeah,
This is a little bit higher, but like
yeah,
I like I like I'm
yeah.
okay with that. I have a lot of flexibility, so
Perfect. Yeah, and it's always fun, nice to try different things to see the different results. So it'll be, similar and different because you're on a different side already. So you can add that arm movement if you like. So that arm alongside your waist. Yeah, you got it.
yeah, resisting gravity.
Yeah. And just as you move your arm, just kind of check in with your breath, just keeping it flowing, and relaxing through your face and your jaw and your neck, just feeling your body supported by the props and the ground underneath you. Yeah. How's that feeling in that right shoulder?
Yeah, it's definitely better on this side. I am feeling like the work that's starting to happen when I am resisting gravity on this way down.
Okay.
So And then that, I could feel that little, almost like a jit, 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 jit in the, just this area.
Mm, yeah.
And then
So
like I feel the muscle engaging.
yeah. So why don't, for the sake of if it's getting tired, let's just maybe do one or two more before that feeling, just in that simple, like light, easy range again, where you don't have to do really any effort.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Nice. All right. Let's relax the arm. And then we will move to the between the pelvis and the rib cage. So your pillow might be bigger, so you might feel it a little bit onto your rib cage. We'll just see how it feels. Yeah,
good.
awesome. Awesome. Okay. So just settle there for a few moments. And just feeling your body relax into the support underneath. And when you feel ready, you can add that little movement of the pelvis.
Feels like, when I kind of drop this pelvis back down, it feels like a little bit like head and dropping.
Say it one more time. I didn't quite catch what it felt like.
Sorry,
Okay.
when this pelvis comes up, it's fairly easy, but when I drop it down, it felt like I really dropped it. Like I was
Okay.
feeling a real like drop.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, not that the pelvis is lower than where it started, but like the movement down isn't smooth or as useful.
Okay. Movement down. Yeah. Does it feel like there's less like control of the movement?
Yeah, less control and like no control because it's just I'm letting gravity do it then.
Okay. And does that feel like a little whisper or a yellow light, or is that just like, oh, I have this relaxation and it's happening? Like, can you get a sense of where that maybe lands for you in your system?
Yeah, I think I sort of was surprised by it at first because I was like, oh, wait a second, I'm supposed to be doing this movement slow and smooth and in control. But like dropping and relaxing is fine as well, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so interesting to me. Like you're saying, like, I'm supposed to be doing this movement slow and controlled. And so that sort of speaks a little to me. It's like, oh, okay, well, why are you supposed to do it slow and controlled? Or is that a pattern that you're like, okay, this is my method. And not to say it's wrong. I'm just like kind of getting you to think about it, you know?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
yeah, like slow doesn't have to be controlled, but can be.
yeah.
Quick doesn't have to be out of control, but it can be, you know? Um, yeah.
I wonder if that's like a Pilates idea as well. You
Yeah.
know, we're like doing slow, controlled movements in this environment with the yoga mat.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. And it's just kind of I just like to play with those ideas if they come up. It's like, okay, like let me watch that as I move through my week. How am I moving? Am I in every movement, am I like, this is how I do it, and I'm thinking or I'm purposeful?
Yeah.
And then what if we let some of that go? What else arises?
Mhm.
Just approaching it in a different way.
Yeah, I think that's a great awareness I hadn't really realized is that maybe when I do approach things slowly, I'm approaching them with control. And as you say, it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah. Is that just noticing? Is that like a bracing pattern in you, a subtle one, maybe somewhat supportive one, but is it always necessary? And
Yeah.
what would happen if you took some of that away and just moved again, like move without thinking, just like let it happen, let it be messy if it's messy, let it whatever arise, arise. Yeah.
Yeah, in particular, the discernment is what really appeals to me about what you said about like
Hmm.
when I do things slow and deliberately, I tend to put more focus and control. And
Hmm.
when it's fast, I'm like free and wild, and I love that, and it's fun. And like sometimes I need to mix those up, right? Where I can
Yes.
fast and deliberate and slow and free.
Yes. I
So
love that.
yeah, that's a really interesting awareness that yeah, I can like look at this week.
Yeah. Yeah. We'd be really interested to see how that plays out, how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I think, and I see that a lot in my, different students or clients that like, okay, need to do this the right way, or some sense of that, not saying that that's what's happening for you, but that deliberateness comes in, and then it's like, okay, we're kind of holding ourselves a little bit, perhaps in a little stiffer way when we do that. Yeah. All right. So let's come out of this side. Let's come up. Yeah. Okay. How are you doing?
Feeling really relaxed and
Awesome.
nice.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. All right. So let's maybe look at a few movements of the hip and see how the knee goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to stand or sit or
I think what kind of what's calling to you? Is there we could lay down, we could sit, we could stand. There's lots of options. Is there one movement that feels more like it would be interesting to play with in your, that you feel day to day, like something you might bring into your practice, or just is there something just bubbling up for you that sounds more interesting at the moment?
what kind of a movement of the pelvis do you want to do? Like rotational, interior, posterior, or one more?
Yeah. I'd
No.
like to see, I think I'd like to see you moving in external rotation. I
Yeah.
think that would be interesting. So now that I say that, maybe I will I'll give you a pose to do if that's okay. It's like if nothing's like, popping up for you. Um, so why don't you lay on your back again, and we'll just do a simple movement here. So we'll do a couple little things before we finish. All right, great. So yeah, have your feet on the floor. All right. And then just bring one leg up off the ground. Okay. And then you can keep that leg up and just gently kind of internally and externally rotate your leg.
Yeah, if I kind of go too far, there's like a little tweak in the knee, but like just tiny, like not quite pain, just almost like a little warning discomfort.
Yeah, I like that. So it's subtly saying, oh, if we keep going, there's going to be more.
Um,
So what I want you to do is take a pause in the movement and bring your hands to your pelvis, somewhere on on your pelvis. Okay. And then move your leg again and just see if you can feel your pelvis steady or your pelvis moving under your hands. What do you feel?
my pelvis is pretty steady.
Yeah. I see it's steady, and then at the very end range of your external rotation, there's a little tiny shift. Yeah.
With a drop like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm such a, you know what? I'm such a pusher. I'm like, go to the end, go to the end.
Yeah. Yeah. You and me and almost everyone I've ever met. So yeah, it's hard to like not be like, I'm gonna do this. I got this. So let's move in a range before the pelvis moves, before you feel that whisper in your right knee. And just easy breath. Like it doesn't have to feel like so deliberate again, but just make it small. And if you need to take a break, you can take a break. Yeah.
There's no warning in this piano. Nothing.
I missed that. What'd you say?
This other me where I have no problem, like there's no warning sign. And this hip has always been had more external rotation than the
Yeah,
knee.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that like maybe a slightly less rotation of the right, you're wanting to maybe get there where you get with the left, and then the knee is taking a bit of the load.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be. So I think like the hardest part is moving in the smaller range, but if we can get in that idea of practicing and repatterning the body so it's like, oh yeah, I can move in this range and it's safe. My nervous system feels like it can not have to worry about that little whisper, that little pain coming up. We can
Yeah.
retrain that pattern and and quite often, quite quickly, the rotation or the pattern, you start to get more range because your body feels safe to settle in and you're doing some work there. Another thing we could try, you could grab your ball and you could just gently roll out your right hip. So you can just slide it under there a little bit and just really gently again so that your body is feeling relaxed and settled. Like you're not trying to grind anything out. Just like kind of even talking to your hips, saying, yeah, you can just settle, you can relax. Just a few breaths, not for too long. And you decide if you want to just kind of hang in one spot or move it around a bit. And how does it feel here when you go in that external rotation with your hip and your leg?
That feels good.
Nice.
I mean, I don't want to go too far. I actually think it might be more effective if I use this block here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, nice. And then let's just take that out, ball and block, just come back. And maybe one more time, you could just try the leg up, the rotation. Just again, moving, noticing in that range that is just simple and free.
Yeah, it feels good. And there's no like tweaking or yellow light. And I am aware of like the like keeping the pelvis still.
Yeah, and to me it looks like the pelvis is just like relaxed. Like I don't feel like that sense of like I got to keep it there. Even that, like we're talking about that precision or that when you go slow, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, now it looks just like it's just there. It's settled and your leg is just moving and it's simple and it's not pain. So awesome. So I always like to then bring in like what now that you've had that experience, what like could we name it a little bit? Like what kind of quality or words or sensations, feelings, like what is it to you when you felt that movement that was easier or more free? These are my words, but what are your words that you are experiencing?
Yeah, it felt more peaceful, definitely like no, like not worrying, so less kind of hypervigilance.
Yeah,
Um, just like more, yeah, like just more movement that's kind of I already said easeful, but kind of more movement that's like, yeah, I guess maybe free. Yeah.
great. So I like to think about as you go and you do these movements, or even just in general, like as you take yourself through this week, whatever, or a couple weeks, if you can just think of moving in that easeful or free range.
Yeah.
Yeah, so always just like, can I move in that easeful and free range?
Yeah.
And build that pattern in your movements, especially with the rotation and notice when or if the knee comes back up and then right, oh yeah, okay, so I just need to like take a step back again, right? You know you can be in a range where it feels easeful and free because you just did it, right?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. So
Totally.
just kind of noticing the capacity. So it's like, oh, I can feel that way for an hour and then it comes back. Or I can feel that way for 2 days and then it comes back. And then you just, slowly build until that feeling of easeful and free movement lasts longer and longer.
Yeah, I love that. It's gonna be so helpful for me too, because when I like often when I go to teach yoga and I sit down there like this, I'm like, does the knee hurt? Does it hurt? So,
Yeah. Yeah. There's that maybe like hypervigilance or worry that comes up. And yeah, it'd be nice to have less of that, right?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Or like not worry, like should I be sitting on my shins today so I'm not making
Yeah.
it worse? And so I think it's such a good shift from like thinking that it's like how I'm moving my body versus if my nervous system is relaxed. Like I think those can be both together, but I think that the emphasis on like nervous system relaxation might be more effective for me, having just like spoken to you and just, as you say, like I can't take away the knowledge that I already have
Yeah.
when we're working
Yeah.
together, you know?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Nice. So just to wrap up,
Mhm.
I like to always like end with a little recap so of what we did and you letting me know kind of like what if any exercises were impactful or what, you could just tell me if you want or I could go through it. I kind of give you the option depending on if you remember or not or whatever you want to do. So,
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you what was impactful right
sure.
now, and you
Perfect.
will remind me of things, but definitely like the ball rolling on the glutes, helped me feel release. Just like the the awareness that you brought forward of like slowing me down in the movement, right? So that,
Yeah.
yeah, that little granular, making it smaller. Um,
Nice.
it just helped me relax a bit more.
Yeah, nice.
Like the thing under here, like it feels spacious, it feels good, and it doesn't feel like too intense or anything. Like it just,
Nice.
it was a nice way to relax, but also open a little bit.
Yeah, awesome.
Um, yeah, like the kind of test, the seated twist, what I'm not like, oh, I want to do that again. But I think that was more the test.
Totally. It was just for me to see the rotation you have and what's happening between your rib cage and your pelvis. And then also what's maybe happening in the knee because of that. Yeah, just kind of seeing the relationship of your parts moving. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, exactly. I was like, we don't need to go back to that now, but you might notice in your twists as you do more of this work, what shifts, you know? So yeah. Sometimes I'll go back to that at the end, but we don't have to if you want to.
Yeah, yeah, maybe it's
Yeah,
hard to tell. I'm kind of in a different seat.
exactly. Yeah, it's going to be different with your legs crossed than sitting on a chair for sure. But yeah, just noticing like, even day to day, like if you drive, you're like, oh, I'm backing up to park. Oh wow, is there more space to rotate? Like those functional things that the
Yeah,
practice brings to our life. Um, Noticing that as well as within the practice. Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, that I think that's a great recap. And as I would do for my clients, if in a session, I would then send them kind of those impactful exercises and little reminders in a little like email so they can practice that between sessions. Yeah.
Giving like a certain amount of like how to do it, whatever, once a day or a certain amount, or just
Mhm.
it feels good or
Yeah, I try not to give a do it this many times because then it can feel like a failure if it doesn't happen.
yeah.
So I try to, yeah, just, invite the kind of awareness day to day within all things, not just in these specific movements or moments when they're actually focused on it, just kind of bringing that awareness into life. And then, yeah, just fitting it in when you can, because doing it once is great, doing it twice is great, but that's better than maybe doing it 7 times every day, trying to just like jam it in, because then is it really being approached in a way that's helpful,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I usually just say, let's, fit it in when you can, and a little bit here or there. Even it can be one thing at one point on one day and one thing another day. It doesn't have to be all in a row. Yeah. So
Thank you so much.
what's that? Sorry.
Oh, I said thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome so much.
Really, I'll come over.
Yeah. Awesome.
All
Yeah.
right. So I'll stop the recording now.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Where's that? Over here.